Welcome to the Marina Bay circuit in the heart of Singapore. The rain is falling for the start of today's practice session, making life much more difficult for the teams than they may have anticipated. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. You know, is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on. Things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous experience or from the simulator.
The sky is dark and the lights are on. Here we go again then for another round of Grand Prix action. The conditions are just right to spice up the racing in this part of the world today, and we're all itching to get underway. Situated just 88 miles north of the equator, this 3.5-mile circuit is hot, it's humid, and is an incredible test for the drivers as they try to fight their cars around the bumps and in between the barriers. 23 corners take us twice over the bay to complete a single lap of this unique racetrack. The view is spectacular, the heat is unbearable. The race should be incredible. Anthony Davidson is alongside me in the commentary box this evening, and big race this one, a real test of endurance. Sounds right up your alley. Wouldn't you just love to be down there on the grid right now?
You know what, Crofty? I'm pretty happy to be up here in my air conditioning, thank you, right now. I can't stress just how difficult these conditions can be, especially when you consider it's the longest race on the calendar in terms of time. It's also one of those races where you have to remember to keep drinking, or there's a real risk of dehydration. Just like we saw with young Kevin Magnussen a couple of years ago, don't forget. The movement in the suspension and the chassis is just incredible, and it's lots of hard work to wrestle the car around a lap here.
If we keep up this level of performance, I think you'll be promoted to #1 driver. So let's make sure we get a good result today.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen, Bottas, Alonso, Button and Sergio Perez, Massa, Grosjean, Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz, Gutierrez, Kvyat, Pascal Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson, Nasser and Haryanto, Kevin Magnussen and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
selected as opposed to the track. No overtakings for the yellow flags.
A great win then for the Mercedes team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
It's got to be Rio Haryanto. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive stuff.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time, though, goodbye. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then, Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Well, he had a great drive today, somewhat unexpected maybe, but I'm going to go for Kevin Magnussen. Quick, clean, and in control. It was everything you could ask for.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.